Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, into some TA. Alright, guys, we did have some exciting stuff today. Alright, we thought yesterday was all bloody in the streets, eh? Well, today we gapped above yesterday's candlestick and then continued on. And yeah, Papa Pal did end up pushing us higher. And as we can also see in the after hours, we are getting a juicy little pump off of Meta earnings. All right, guys, so we're going to start off here with the indices. We're going to go over some of the big boys. We got the semiconductors, and then we got the bit of corn. All right, so starting off here with QQ's daily time frame, let's just go over the levels, what we were paying attention to going into the end of the week. All right, guys, so 473.82 in the weekly update. I did discuss that was my target for the week over here on QQQ. We have now hit that. We are above there in the after hours. We're at 475.52. Okay, now above 473.82, we do have the next resistance being all the way up to at 480.14, that gap. All right, now above there, we're coming straight for 486.38. That is the target, the whole target we have here for this whole entire rally. Okay, and from there, we look for sellers to step in, and that is when we're going to see if we get this scenario right here where they step in the golden pocket, or hey, if you want to bust up above there, get above 493. At that point, we will know we're probably coming back up here at 504, and then we're going to put in a new all-time high. All right, so that's really what we're looking forward to over here on QQQ. Now, if it does decide to pull back, we watch 473.82 as support. Underneath there, we have 467.65. As we could see, you got above that, little top of your little range going on over here on the gap up this morning. And then you came down, you flipped the top of range as your support. That we do like to see. We also are above our short-term moving average on this channel. We will pay attention to the 9 EMA. You can see right over there. All right, your daily RSI is curling up off of, oversold territory over there. You did have heavy volume on the day. I only can assume that we are going higher tomorrow. All right, that is that over here on QQQ. You come over here to SPY. What do we have? A fresh downtrend break. Same story as QQQ. You gapped up above the 9 EMA, gapped up above the top of this previous little range, this 5-day trading range we had. And then guess what? You flipped it into support. You closed out with heavy volume. You closed above that daily 9. And guys, I only can assume we're going to the target for this rally up at 555.83. All right, 555.83. When we get up there, guys, that is where we look for sellers. If price starts to get above 559, let's just put our line in the sand for this rally right here. It's at 560. If we can start picking our head up above 560, that is when we're probably coming all the way back up to 565 and then to a new all-time high. All right, guys, we are going to see if this is just a dead cat bounce before we go lower, just like we had over here. We are going to see, and that time is very soon. Okay, guys, I told you it was just going to come all at once. We are starting to get that rally all at once. You had a $9 day over here in SPY. It's kind of insane. After hours, you're gapping up right to the top of your daily high today. I only can assume you're going to go higher tomorrow and test that 555 level up there at 555.83. Okay, so that is SPY. If you do pull back, we're just going to come down here the smaller time frames. And you know what, guys? 4-hour time frames, I will show them. These things look explosive. They look like they're queuing up for something. We now see, yay. All right, we're getting that move that it was queuing up for. The coiling, it was getting pretty tight. All right, it was just a matter of time from this point forward. All right, I'm going to take off some of these and see what we really could be watching here. Okay, clearly that is going to be a key level. If we pull back, we're watching 547.46. All right, that is the top of this previous range. Okay, now if you are just to take the golden pocket, low of that, bring it to the high of this impulsive wave we got going on here of today's move. Okay, the impulsive move, you pull back into the golden pocket, it's just going to be a back test of this downtrend. So guys, I'm seeing positive things over here that we could be looking forward to. I don't think we are going to be taking out this low. I think we probably just put in the low, and we're about to see a decent sized rally here on everything. Okay, IWM, guys. All right, talk about the Uno reverse today. You had this breakout from this tight little pennant here. It's getting really tight. coming into that apex, guess what? All right, you got above 227 today. You shot up to 229. That's pretty crazy. Just about 229. We'll say 228.50. The high was 228.63. And then you got sucked back down. All right, very quick. You got sucked back down. You could see this clearly on the 15-minute time frame. You had half an hour going up. You had, half an hour going down here. This thing doesn't look too good. I'm going to be completely honest on that. Full transparency, just looking off of this, I have to assume, hey, we do know sellers are in the waters here. You swept liquidity, you swept the highs there. Probably getting a pullback with how this thing is looking. But hey, all right. I'm also just going to say, we didn't get terrible news today. Let's look at it this way, guys. So I hinted that IWM was probably going to be making a big move out of this consolidation off of today's news. It did do so, but this is not like it would have been bigger. All right, we would have gotten a much bigger move if they had decided to start cutting rates. If we were going to not keep things the same, IWM would have made a much larger move than what it did over here. Just my guess, okay? Just my guess. There will never be financial advice given here on this channel. Of course, if you're not new to the channel, then you know that. All things I share on this video are just my opinions, okay? Keep that in mind, all right? As support, guys, we're watching 222.80 underneath 220.80, 222.80. We're watching 220.70 underneath there, 218.24. On the upside, you have 224.86 as resistance, and then we do have that 227.13 level. And now that we're getting above here, guys, we're going to have to put some more levels on the board, all right? So the next one we're going to watch here is 229.84. Above there, guys, you really don't have anything. You guys can see what I'm seeing right here. We don't have much, but if I had to point out a level that's in between here and up here, it's going to be 236.31. It's going to be the low of this candlestick right here. So if it is tested, expect sellers over there. But guys, this is one heck of a run here. Do not be surprised if it pulls back with how that thing closed out today. That's that. All right, DIA. How are we looking over here, guys? All right, if I had to take a guess here, you're probably going to be running back up to the highs over here. You did take out the golden pocket here. You got above it. I understand it was just with the wick, but normally when we see these things, it likes to run back up and have 100% retracement. So that would be a move above 413.86. Now, I don't recommend trading DIA over here. Premiums are going to be crap, and I think the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, I think those should be focus points if you're going to be trading the indices. That is just where I know for a fact we continuously get the clean price action, and it's not over here on the Dow. So that is that. Heavy volume on the day, large upper wick, not the biggest gap up in after hours, just because different components than the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. Nonetheless, guys, I do think you're going to come back up. Support is going to be 404.39 if we pull back, just like you found some buyers when you tested it right over there. And then underneath there, 401. That's really all I got to say over here on DIA. Come over here to Mr. VIX. What do we got, guys? We closed out with the hammer candlestick right off the 9. All right, we've seen this before. It's been right over here, all right? So, hey, if this thing is about to, heat up a little bit, don't be surprised. I'm still just going to say, I think with how things are set up, we're set up to rip a little higher. We're going to go over some things in this video. But, hey, I kind of ignored it last time here. I'm not going to ignore it right here. I'm definitely just going to put it on a radar, and I'm going to point out, hey, this thing, this is what I shared with the Discord earlier. I do think, hey, all right, this thing could have been getting a little bounce. It started getting a little bounce. I'm not saying it has to run back up to the high. But, typically following a hammer candlestick, you don't just get immediate downside. We will see what we get. All right. There is that. Moving over to the big boys. Tesla. What do we got going on over here on Tesla, guys? Now, you are stalling out up here at your 233.09 resistance. Above there, you have 236.83. And then above there, you have the 0.618 fib at 240. Now, on the downside, what are we paying attention? I'm just going to delete this level right over here. Okay, we're going to delete that. On the downside, we do have 225.99 underneath there. It's 214.71. I don't think we're going to be revisiting there with how things are looking. I think we're probably just going to keep trekking up here, and we're going to have to see the reaction here in the golden pocket when it is tested. But yeah, above 233.09, 236.83. That's the next stop. Above there, 240. That's really what I'm thinking. This is that's the route I think that's going to go. Amazon. All right, Amazon hit it with the major move down in after hours yesterday, and you hit it with the Uno reverse, and you printed a hammer candlestick off the retest of that downtrend. It's not looking bad at all, guys. It's not looking bad at all. It's looking freaking mighty fine over here, right? This is a beaut. She's a beaut, guys. She's a beaut. From this point, we are looking for the test of 192.86. That is the low of this candlestick right here. And if you just take the golden pocket and see, this whole move down, that is going to be in that golden pocket. Expect sellers around 192.86. Again, expect sellers around 192.86. Microsoft printed a hammer candlestick right off of your support down at 413. Daily RSI now does have the bullish divergence, and it is nearing 30. Okay, it's at 34.64. Guys, we had the bullish divergence over here. What happened? Okay, you did end up rallying out of there, and your daily RSI, what was it at? Say it with me, 34. What is it at now? Say it with me, 34. All right, 413, guys, above there. We are looking for a test of 430.82. Now, you did get some mighty fine rejection over there last time, and you did also get rejected here at the daily 9. I am just saying, if you come back up, you probably aren't going to reject there this time around. You're probably going higher than that. And above 430.82, we are looking for a test of 445.66. Now, I will also mention that premiums, they have been crushed over here on Microsoft because the earnings did not get a move to the upside. So your call premiums, they are dead. All right. September calls, yeah, I'm talking about you. You know it. Again, no financial advice will be given here on this channel, guys. But hey, Microsoft September calls, what you know about them. There you go. Meta. Now, Meta with the move in the after hours straight up to 510, straight up into that golden pocket. You bounced up from this golden pocket into the next golden pocket. That's, picture perfect. I love to see it. You love to see it. We all love to freaking see it. And now we're going to see the reaction that happens. You are at this key resistance right here. You could see we have some reactions. All right. Price likes to dance around here. Came back, found buyers on it, and then you never got above it again. Now we're going to be testing it. As you can see, this thing has a big freaking, green dildo looking candlestick over here in the after hours. To me, this looks like it's probably going to continue going, but again, expect sellers here in the golden pocket. Just, how I look at things. Apple, guys, you do have earnings right around the corner tomorrow after the bell. You are tricking, just trickling your way up here. All right, you're above the daily 9 now. You've stalled out at the 222.27 resistance, 222.27 resistance. Above there, you have 225.77. Again, earnings are going to be, the dictator of this chart. I have, I can point out, you found buyers in the golden pocket. Your 4-hour RSI was coming up off of oversold territory. Yeah, I can point that stuff out. It looks like you based out here on the 4-hour time frame and you started ascending above that base. Okay, you had that little pullback kind of move, and it looks like you're going to continue higher. I could point that out. What I can't point out right now is the results of these freaking earnings, because we don't know what it's going to be. All right, without things to set up, I think it is set up to go up. But hey, earnings are they're a curveball, and we knew that coming into this week that we're going to have some volatility, and that is exactly what we're seeing. Okay, guys, we're definitely seeing the freaking-tility. Goog, what do we got over here on Mr. Goog, guys? All right, come over here. You got that downtrend. You look like you're going to be testing that downtrend, and that is going to give you your A+ setup over here on Goog. That gives you a key spot to pay attention to, which is that downtrend. Now, if you can push up above 178.21, that's where I think things are going to get spicy. Above 178.21, which is the low of this candlestick right here, you will be breaking out of that downtrend, and the next level on the board is going to be 182.73. Now, above there, we're talking 187.50. You take your handy dandy golden pocket, you put that on your board. Where is it, guys? Right here, 182.73 to 187.50. So those are going to be two key levels that we're definitely going to be paying attention to. If I had to take a guess, you're probably going to come up here and stall right around 185.22, right in the middle. All right, so that is what I'm going to be paying attention on Goog for this rebound. That is that. All right, now what do we got next, guys? We have the semiconductors. We'll kick it off with SMH with the 7.63% move on the freaking day with the highest volume that you've had. It's a little under over here. Okay, 18.765 mil. 18.409 mil. It's slightly underneath, but what I will point out is not underneath is price under that daily 9 EMA. You're above the daily 9, you're pushing up. All right, you broke out of this downtrend. We said, hey, you break out of this downtrend, you're probably getting a straight up move to 250.85 and 255.92. What you freaking know about it? All right, you do have the triple bullish divergence going on right from your support in your golden pocket. The setup was there right before our eyes. It was no freaking surprise that this was coming next. It's now happening. I know things like to take time. A lot of people like to, fear monger and stuff like that. I'm never going to do that to you guys. I will be completely real with you guys. Hey, this was going to end at some point. We're going to start moving back up. Now is that time. Now above 255.92, which is the next resistance above 250.85, we have 263.08. I think that is going to come into play here. I think that's going to have some sellers around it. Why? Because that is the point when you're going to be in the golden pocket. That is my, target here for this overall rally. It's going to be right here at 263.08. Now above there, we have 268.14. I think this probably does take some time, considering that is another 6% above. Again, we had a 7% day right here. You had a minus 4% day over here. Like, just look at this. What is this gap up, guys? We gapped up 5.7%. Insanity. Okay, but that's how SMH is looking. You want to talk about something also pretty sexy? NVIDIA. It's at 121 and freaking after hours right now off these meta earnings. Guys, the thing is, it was destined to run at some point. This is like for long-term investors out there. This was your buying opportunity. I was, screaming from the top of my lungs, banging on the table. I didn't want to do it no more. Do you think I freaking want to just keep telling people, oh, it's a buying opportunity, guys? All this is going to be erased, and, we're going to have a great freaking time. Do you think I just want to keep saying that? No. All right? No. So I do hope this is actually a bounce that is going to hold. What I am pointing out is you did take out this high over here, and you made a higher high after putting in this higher low. So right now, the trend is not down. The trend is neutral. Okay? It is neutral. We're going to need to see something like this form, though, in order to really see, this thing take off, and then maybe we could push up to this 133.73 level up there. All right, but you're probably going to hit it with that, or hey, or you're just going to keep skyrocketing here, and we get a straight up vertical move. But what's more likely is you're going to have something like this, where you just keep building out, these little ranges here, and you have these little legs up. Okay, that's typically how I see NVIDIA trade. So, do not be surprised. I know I got the magnet, so it's looking all ugly right there. Do not be surprised to see something very similar form here, where you go like that and you have another leg up, then you go like that and you have another leg up. That's, how I think this thing is probably going to trade. It's probably not just going to go straight up here. It could, because, all this doom and gloom we've had. But at the end of the day, I'm sure you had a crap ton of doom and gloom over here. Did it go straight up? No, you just kept stair stepping. So, take your profits as they come, and you probably get a chance to reposition along the way. And that's that. Okay, guys. And I will just say, I'll hit this button for us.
That was easy.
All right. There you go, guys. I do think the painful times of just kind of sitting there and waiting for it to reverse, I think those times are over. So if you were, sitting there, hey, all right. I think you're, I think things are getting back to normal over here. I think the doom and gloom loop, I think it is over. We just keep selling every single rip down to new lows. I think that is over. Okay. But yeah, NVIDIA above 121.03. We have 124.58 resistance. Above there, we have 175. Oh, no, 175. We have 127.05. Now, take your handy dandy golden pocket. What levels does this tell you to be paying attention to? 127.05 and 124.58. If we hit these into the end of the week, you damn right are taking profits right up here. If you were loading anywhere down here and you had some time on it, 8/16 of the September cons, guess what? You're gonna be in a pretty situation. Okay, you're gonna have profit to take. There's not a reason for you not to take that profit. Just my opinion. No financial advice will be given here on this channel. INTC, what do you got going on over here, guys? You are bouncing back from this long-term support over here, and I am just going to point out, guys. I'll put it right there. I'm just going to point out this thing is the ugliest looking chip stock, and I see no reason to trade it, but I will chart the thing. All right. On this comeback, you're watching 31.37 for sellers to start stepping in this zone. You know, you wanted it to flip into demand. What happened? It did not. And it's back into being a supply zone, just like it was over here. Expect sellers at that zone between 31 and 31.37. That is that. Okay. 31. Yeah. Just about. Yeah. 31 to 31.30. That is what you're paying attention to on INTC. I'm going to actually take this off of the chips over here that we cover each day. I don't want to cover the piece of crap. That's that. We have all these other beautiful setups to cover each day, and we're not gonna focus on the ugly guy, guys. All right, that is just that. Avgo. All right, this is actually this was on the focus list. I really freaking like this one. All right, I wish I played this one. Yeah, I do. But yeah, you came right down to where I was looking at it, and I did not see it until we saw this morning's gap up, and I was like, holy crap! Wow, I missed it. That is what you get, guys. You can be prepared for things, but if you're not on it, okay, if you're not like there at the time, you are missing that crap. All right, so utilize those alerts. I literally forgot to alert it, and what happened? I missed it, and that's that. Perfect break and retest. Daily RSI was, coming down to oversold territory over here. It was at 36. Perfect break and retest, though. You're clearly in a bull flag. You're fixing to break out up. Out of this flag, you're probably pushing 176.55, and if I had to guess, you're probably pushing back up these highs. 185.16 is my target for this chart. That is that. Heavy volume on the day, already gapping up in after hours. You're probably going to bust out of this, downtrend you got going over here, this parallel trend line to over here on the bull flag. Probably going to break out of that bull flag tomorrow if I had to take a guess. Let's see how this thing wants to move. It looks like it wants to move up. This thing looks so freaking sexy. Okay, this was top setup, I'll say. I will definitely say that. This thing looks so beautiful. So freaking beautiful. ARM, watch the golden pocket. Okay, I understand you already hit it in after hours. You found some buyers, but watch it during regular hours. We're going to see the reaction to that 0.618 fib at 125. That is all I have to say over there on ARM. TSM. Started bouncing back. We had a bunch of key spots and right below, and if you hit them, the daily RSIs were going to be oversold. Hey, this, no surprise. I'm just going to say no surprise. Today's action was bound to happen at some point, and what I will point out on a crap ton of these tickers is, what did it do today? You have this low, right? Okay, you see how it's higher than this low over here? Guess what? You had this high. We'll see how this is higher than that high over there. You now have switched your, started switching it to where bulls are starting to take the power back. All right. You're trying to, you pretty much just flipped that trend. All right. That's what you did over here on this daily chart. I love to see it. You love to see it. We all love to see it. Take off the golden pocket because it wasn't respected over there. But what are we going to watch? The next golden pocket. That's what we pay attention to up there above 169.84. We're paying attention to 176.06. That is where I would definitely expect sellers to start stepping in. We know they're there. Okay, we know this is a reaction spot. You have the 0.618 fib at 177.50 right above. You get up here, you're in things. Profit time. All right, take them profit time. I told you guys, you're gonna get the chance, and you typically, when you're just doing, I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna say I'm the best. Okay, I'm not going to say it at all, but I'm going to say there's a certain style when you see things, just, all the opportunities that we just had, and it's my thing that I like to do, which is, guys, you just keep buying your time, and you're going to be perfectly fine as long as you have time. Why? Because things all come back at once, and then you're like, holy sweet baby Jesus, you're all good. All right, you're all good. I'm not going to say it's the best thing to do because it's really not the best thing at all. It's not the best. All right. It's not good to look at things like that, but I will definitely tell you. All right. When you see what we were seeing, that is not a terrible move because things are going to all come back at once. They're all coming back at once now. You're going to have the profits on the table. Don't forget to take the profits. That is what I'm getting at. If you're just sitting in red for freaking 1 to 2 weeks, and now you're going to get the chance over the next 1 to 2 weeks, like this week into next week, yeah, all right? Do not forget to get yourself out of the positions that you were just sitting in red in. There's no reason to, put yourself in another bad spot. And then, you take the profits there, you wait for things to set up again, and boom, you can go from there. There you go. All right. And while you're waiting, you could focus on short-term setups with smaller capital. That's the way to go. MU, what do you got going on over here, guys? All right. Again, you got really freaking close to this key level. You're coming down to retest 98, the previous all-time high. All right. This is a major, major spot that you're coming down to. And you started gapping up and you actually got above this high rate over here. I know it's not by much. You're still underneath that daily 90 EMA, but you are seeing the daily RSI come off of oversold territory in quite a, aggressive manner. I have to assume you're probably going to keep pushing up. All right. And after hours, you are up quite a bit here. It's 111.60. If I had to put a target, a short-term target on MU for, I'm going to say into next week, 121.01. That is my target. That is what I've been looking for. 121.01. And then above there, 130.54. That is, for this whole rebound here, that's my target. 130.54. All right. And in the end, you're probably going to test this golden pocket up there. You probably are. AMD. All right. If you're not new here to the channel, then you do know I refer to this guy as a troll. It's definitely the troll on the channel. I know it's doing some dumb things right now. I know you had this big old gap up and it had some nice sentiment in the chip sector. I know. All right. You gave that move back today. You came all the way back down to where you started and you actually touched yesterday's open. You just about touched it. You missed it by like 5 freaking cents here. This thing is not a sign of strength. But what I will also say is it's making an effort here. It's trying. All right. We can see it's trying. The daily RSI is oversold with a daily bullish divergence. If I had to take a guess, this thing is going to keep trying around to base over here. And then you are going to slowly start pushing up to retest 153.64 like you did today. All right. Guys, if you have good levels, the way to know that they are good levels is if they have reactions off of them. You came down, you have a reaction off my level. You have a ton of them right over here. You came up, you had the reaction off the level. It's pretty much picture perfect. You missed it by 4 cents. You had sellers start stepping in. We know sellers are up there. You're probably going to base around here and then start ascending there slowly over the coming weeks. If I had to take a guess, 153.64 into 157.05. Look for sellers there in between those two levels. We can definitely just draw a zone here and we can clear as they see. Hey, there was a lot of stuff going on here. Okay, right over here. So that is AMD. Now, what are we going to close things off with? Bitcoin. Guys, it's not looking good. All right, it's not looking good. It's looking like we're going to get that buying opportunity over here on the Bitcoin miner stocks. Wouldn't it be really freaking nice if we got to take a bunch of profit on big tech just across the board? And then boom, people just got to load up on crypto miners because, you started seeing things like CLSK come down into some key levels down there in between 1391 and 1503. You get a chance to run it back over there. It wouldn't be a bad picture at all. It would be a good time. There you go. All right. But, Bitcoin, guys, 63794, that's what we're paying attention to. I'm just going to put on a golden pocket for this whole, rally here. Level is the same. We pointed out the other day, 59313. I don't think it's going to get down there, but if it does get down there, that is the golden pocket. That is where it probably is going to start bouncing back from. This weekly candlestick is not looking so good. I would have liked you to just push up here. All right. If you could just start pushing up here into the zone, you could test this. You're probably not going to get the rejection. All right. Let's just start seeing a candle print in here. You probably aren't getting a rejection. You're probably taking out 73794 and pushing to a new all-time high. What I do have to point out here is you got this little inverse head and shoulders potential here. So if we pull back over the next like 2 weeks here, come into maybe this golden pocket, it would actually be picture perfect. If we were to come into this golden pocket down there, it would be just like this. All right. It would be just like that. You have an equivalent right shoulder to your left shoulder. You'd have a reversal setup over here after all this consolidation. I would really like it. All right. But for coin, guys, you got this massive pennant. We knew a move was brewing, and I didn't think it was going to be a move to the downside, but it is how it's looking right now, guys. It doesn't look like you're going to be holding up there at the 0.786 fib. You break this uptrend, guys, you're seeing this thing come down. All right. Now, you do have earnings right around the corner. I will also point out over here on Mara, you know, I'll share the same thoughts I did yesterday. Guys, no financial advice will be given here on this channel, but don't freaking play this thing. Don't play it. You can go look back. 8 out of 10 of these earnings do absolutely nothing, and they will just cry. We're going to say 9 out of 10 of these earnings do absolutely nothing. The move will come following earnings if there's going to be a move. Not like, you know, there's no reason to hold calls into that. Just wait for the premiums to get crushed. You know, FOMO is the only thing making you hold those things. You're probably not going to see this 30% rip over here at Mara that's going to save calls. Just not going to be the case. And, you know, on the downside, how far do you think you're really going to decline here? All right. You're probably also going to see puts get crushed. Same thing over here on coin. You know, I see no reason to really be trying to play this thing into earnings because it's always pricing in a 10% move at least. And then it barely gets that freaking move. All right. You got no reason to play it. That's what I'm getting at. No reason. So protect the capital if you choose to do the right thing. That is the right thing, protecting the capital on these miners because they don't have good moves. Break this uptrend, though. What are we going to be paying attention to? Your next support is going to be all the way down there, 213.57. Underneath 213.57, we're just going to look for a test over here of 207.71. Daily RSI is probably going to be approaching oversold territory. And we are going to probably get another base forming just like we had over here. Or when you come over here, you start forming this base. That's, you know, how I think this is probably going to play out. You're probably going to take breakdown from here. It's going to take some time. All right. And you're going to base out. And then we get to see something load over the next like month. All right. That's that. CLSK, I shared my thoughts over here. All right. Come down to 1503. I like it. That's your support. 4-hour RSI, you see it getting down here into oversold territory. You could see very clearly where it bounces from. I'll just put on a horizontal line right there. All right. It typically doesn't get oversold, you know, too often there. It has a lot of big bounces from where it's at right now. But if we do see it come down here, it probably is going to be oversold. And we're probably not too far off from a bottom. You very clearly can see you have this downtrend here to pay attention to. Just like that. All right, so we do see something is in the works over here on CLSK. I'm actually just going to take off that magnet. I'm going to point out you kind of have a massive falling wedge forming over here, just like you did over here. All right, pretty much the same thing. I know it's a little, you know, smaller than over there, but at the end of the day, it's probably going to have the same exact reaction where you end up exploding back up, and we're going to be testing 2015. So, you know, target I'm going to throw out after you start rebounding here. 2015, we're coming back to the top of the range. But guys, you know, this range is probably not going to fail. It's been in play for the past 3 months. You come to the bottom of the range, you buy the bottom of the range. Again, no financial advice on this channel. And then, yeah, your goal there is to ride it to the top of the range up at 2015. 1842 is going to be your resistance before you come into the top of the range, though. Riot coming down to the key level at 1004. All right, 1004 is that key level. Now, if you do come down into it, your 4-hour RSI over here is going to be an oversold territory, and I do have to assume, holy crap, never mind. You've already hit it here in the after hours. That is something that we should talk about, all right? So you have came down. You have already gotten a reaction. You guys can see exactly what I was just talking about, though. Your 4-hour RSI is getting oversold. You probably start getting buyers stepping in around here, and if they don't step in here, guys, we are revisiting the bottom of the range. So if you do see price break under 980, we are probably going to 915, and that is the next spot to really be buying these riot dips before they move back up. Like I said, small freaking move off of earnings. It did not do that. Like jack diddly squat, dude. What is this? Nothing. It's a premium killer. Don't play it. All right, guys, so that's what I got for you in today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please remember to leave a like. And if you think there's anyone out there who is a cool cat and who would benefit just like you from these videos, these daily market preparation videos, 6 days a week, please feel free to share it with them. All right, we can expand our little corner of YouTube over here. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all. Check out the links down below. If you guys are not already on the Twitter, go follow the Twitter. If you guys want to come trade with me throughout the day, Discord link is down below. And with that being said, I will catch y'all in the next one. Everybody have a lovely rest of your day, and peace.